What's going on, YouTube? I hope everyone's having a great day today. Today I am actually going to do a little bit of a Goldfish for my Betor deck. Betor Ancestor's Voice. This is still one of my favorite decks. I've tweaked it a little bit since I put the deck tech up on YouTube. I added more of a milling, package rather than a sacrificing package. I think it runs a little bit quicker and just more different. So I did just upload a short of an opening hand, and that is what we're going to be playing with today. It's pretty decent. There's no ramp in the hand, but we do have 3 creatures that we can feasibly play within the first couple of turns. So I thought I was going to keep it. And with that being said, let's get right into it. Here is my hand right here. We have a Bloodthirsty Conqueror, a Guide of Souls, a Soul Warden, which are 2 life-gaining creatures that we really want out. And then we have a Satyr Wayfinder to throw stuff to the yard. Hopefully we get some ramp out so we can eventually get Betor and Bloodthirsty Conqueror. But let's see what we draw. So we draw another forest. I would play a Plains, and then I would play a Guide of Souls. It says whenever another creature ETB is under your control, you gain a energy counter and 1 life, and eventually whenever you attack, you can pay 3 to put counters on stuff and also give it flying. So there is the Guide of Souls. So we would do untap, upkeep, draw into turn 2. Not good. We're continuing to draw lands. But I will play a forest here. I'm going to tap that forest in 1, and I would play a Satyr Wayfinder, triggering Guide of Souls, give me a life and an energy counter. Whenever Satyr Wayfinder ETBs, what's going to happen is I'm going to reveal the top 4 cards in my library. You may put a land card from among them into your hand and put the rest into your graveyard. Wow, that's a good milling, because we just were about to draw 3 more stinking lands. I will put a Windswept Heath into my hand and then put the rest. Putting Gary into our graveyard is relevant and should help us eventually. So I would untap, upkeep, and then draw. Good thing it's not a land, it is a turn 3 play, which is good. So at this point, what I would do would probably play the Windswept Heath, crack it, and I would go and grab, I think I have a couple duels in here. Maybe I should have waited to do this until Betor's out, but hey, that's why we do these things. Let's get out a Temple Garden, shock it in, shuffle. And I always like to do a quick cut just because my play grip usually cuts. So we would shuffle there and just do a quick cut, go to the side. And then I would probably play that card we just drew. I'll tap 3 for Boromir, Warden of the Tower. I can just sack him later to give stuff indestructible. And it counters free spells, which we don't run into a whole lot of. But it will trigger Guide of Souls, give me a life, and another energy. That is up to 2 energies. I'll untap, upkeep, draw another stinking land. I think I run 38 or 39 in here, which isn't too much, but we'll play stuff on curve, I guess. I will play a Woodland Cemetery, giving me a black. I'll tap 1 of them. And then I would play Soul Warden, which says whenever another creature ETBs, I gain 1 life. That's other opponents' creatures as well. Triggering here, I would have 3 energy counters. I could swing with whatever, maybe a 3/3 Vigilance can get through. And I would pay the 3, put 2 counters onto him, and give him flying until end of turn. It's pretty good, pretty cool card. Let's do a turn 5. That was a rough turn 4 though. Drawing into these lands are pretty bad. I just drew a piece of removal, but it's also an ability to lose life on the backside. So that is relevant and something to keep in our mind. So let's play another Plains here. And then I would tap out, give me a white, a black, and a green, and then 2 more. Give me Betor, gaining me 2 life. Have not lost life this turn. Unfortunately, I don't have anything on the battlefield to lose life. But at my end step, I will be able to put 2 counters on to something. It's other than Betor. It's looking like Boromir is getting big, but he can sacrifice himself later. Maybe I'll give it to the God of Souls here. He's a 1/2 buy. Okay, let's go into turn 6. Man, that is another land. This is really rough, guys. Really, really rough. Let's start out. I'm not going to be able to lose 3 life. That's what I was looking for here, unfortunately. But maybe I can gain a whole bunch of life. I will play a swamp. I will tap 2 blacks and then 3 others to play Bloodthirsty Conqueror. This should give me a whole bunch of life. Whenever an opponent loses life, you gain that much life. So theoretically, I could swing with Betor. First off, dealing 3 damage and gaining 3 life from the life link. And then whenever an opponent loses 3 life, I'm going to gain 3 life. So that's 6 life gained. That's only if I can get through with one of those. Let's pretend I can get through with a 5/5 Vigilance with Boromir, because again, he does have 2 counters on him. And then I'll be gaining 5 more life. That would be up to 11 life gained just this turn. At my end step, I could put 11 counters on, let's do God of Souls again. Let's see what we can do on turn 6. Hopefully I can get a piece of my engine going, and that is a good one. So we have Minions Murmurs here. This guy says you draw X cards and lose X life, where X is the number of creatures you control. Perfect. Hopefully we do have these creatures still up. I would tap 2 black, and then I would tap 2 more, and I would play Minions Murmurs. I'm going to draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 creatures, losing 6 life, which is relevant. Let's draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a 6. Put those into our hand. We have not played land for turn, and I just lost 6 life. We just drew a Soul Ring. Always play our Soul Ring. Let's play that guy there. And then we have 3 mana to play with, and I don't have access to black. That is not great, but I have not played land for turn, which is relevant. Let's see. I can play a Bleach, Blown Verge. Let's play that. Tap it for a black, and then let's tap it for 2 more from the Soul Ring and play Dark Star Augur, which is another piece of our engine that will lose us life next upkeep, which is very good. It says at the beginning of your upkeep, reveal the top card of your library and put that card into your hand, and you lose life equal to its mana value. So let's quickly go on to turn 7, I believe. Excuse me, this would be turn 8. Here we go. Upkeep trigger. End step trigger. I would have lost enough life to gain Gary back. When Gary enters, I'm going to gain a whole bunch more life, but I don't believe that will trigger Betor anyway. I would put more counters on probably the big flying Death Toucher. That's what we would do. So upkeep, reveal the top card. Ooh, here's where things get spicy. We have Bolas the Citadel, automatically losing me 6 life right off the bat from Dark Star Augur, which is not a bad thing when we're losing life. And then I would draw my card for turn, Feed the Swarm, which is a good card for what we're looking for. I don't want to play a land for turn because I have Bolas' Citadel here. Let's tap 3 blacks here, and then we'll tap a white, and then that Soul Ring, and then we would play Bolas' Citadel. And Bolas' Citadel is very powerful. It's very, it's sometimes fun to play with. I'm assuming it's hard to play against. Sometimes it kind of gets boring to play with anyway, but it's probably why it's a game changer, right? So Bolas Citadel, if anyone doesn't know, it is a game changer. You may look at the top card of your library anytime. You may put lands and cast spells on the top of your library. If you cast a spell this way, you pay life equal to its mana value rather than paying its mana cost. I've never had this in a deck, and I've had this for 2 years at least. I wanted it or got it at a Friday Night Magic. I just thought this card is way, way, way too good to not be in this deck. So let's look at the top card of the library, and we would pay 4 life like that for Lathiel. This is up to 10 life lost. Hopefully we have 10 life to lose. I'm assuming we do, but when this enters, triggering both of these creatures here, gaining me 2 more life. Lathiel pretty much does the same thing for Betor's trigger for the life gain part of it at least. And it would be it's going to be really good because I can bounce these 2 off of here. So anyway, let's keep going. Let's look at Reanimate. That's sucks because we do not have any targets in our own graveyard. Let's pretend we reanimate someone's 2-drop over there, just to keep things rolling. I've lost another life and another 2 more life. That's 14 life, which is relevant. We have Enoch Wayfarer in the top of our library. Let's cast that. When it enters, mill 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. You may put a land card from among them into your hand. If you don't put a counter on this creature, I'll put a land card into my hand. And I did throw a creature in the yard, which is relevant. I'm going to keep those guys right here. And then, again, guys, we can continually do this Bolas Citadel. Let's play Kutzel. My opponents cannot cast spells during my turn, and whenever a creature with base power and toughness, power and toughness greater than their base power and toughness deals damage, I get to draw a card. So we do have that. We just lost 3 more life. We have Horizon of Progress, and this is exactly why we don't play a land for turn from our hand with Bolas Citadel. We'll play Horizon of Progress, which is another paying life to add any color of mana we could already produce. Let's keep looking. Kami of the Whispered Hopes, sweet card. Lost 3 more life. And that is our stopping point. We cannot go any farther with a land on the top of our battlefield. But we still have 4 mana to play with and some other things in our hand. Now, what I would probably do here, this is very a crazy board. Hopefully we're gonna win from this point. But if we don't, we have some options where we swing, boom, dealing 3 damage at least, gaining 6 life, both from here and here. And if you remember, I did add counters to Bloodthirsty Conqueror. I don't think anyone's blocking that. Gaining 11-ish life once again. And then going to end step, we would unfortunately only have Elves of the Deep Shadow to bring back. And then we could put a ton of counters on this on something. From here, I'd probably put Kami of the Whispered Hopes, getting him a little bigger and making our mana production and significantly bigger for the next turn. And then Lathiel would trigger that same thing. All that life we gained would happen again. I would probably put all that mana all that counters onto Betor. So when we're looking here, guys, we have a ton of different things to do. If we ended up getting board wiped on the second go around, you can always do Bolas Citadel trigger. Sacrifice 10 non-land permanents. Each opponent loses 10 life. Now, if I'm looking at a board like this, I don't even know if I have 10. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. The only reason I'm thinking of is throwing Gary into the graveyard and then hopefully bringing him back. I don't think that's the move, only leaving two creatures left. But because we do have Boromir to give indestructible. But let's just, for kicks and giggles, let's look at the next turn really quickly, very, very quickly. We'll be finished after this. Put a land into my hand. We would look at Call of the Ring, pay 2 life, play Call of the Ring, which would lose me life on the next upkeep. Oh, excuse me, actually, this would be my card for turn because of the Darkstar Augur trigger. This would go into my hand, losing 0 life, and then I would draw this. And then we'd see here, we have Lunarch Veteran, another life gain trigger, gaining me a ton of life. And then we have Talisman of Resistance, play 2 life for that, play a Forest. And then we have Essence Warden. Guys, do you guys see how snowbally Bolas Citadel can be? Unfortunately, we did just hit a land, but we can do things, and I'm not counting the mana here, or the colors at least. I can do things like Archangel of Thune. Whenever you gain life, put a counter on each creature. When this enters, it would trigger Lunarch, it would trigger Essence, it would trigger Soul, and it would trigger Guide of Souls separate times. What that means is I would gain 1 life 4 times and put 4 +1/+1 counters on each creature I control, guys. If that's not game, I don't know what is. That is getting, pretty nuts here. So looking back at this playthrough, the only thing that I wish would have happened differently is I wish we would have ran into some mana ramp sooner. I know that was turn 8 or 9. That's pretty late, and that's without any interaction. I know we had Boromir up early to suffice some interaction, so Boromir may have been a target to reanimate with Betor in one of those turns, but Yeah, the other thing is we didn't really have any good creatures hit the yard. We had 2 milling things enter, and we just threw a whole bunch of lands in there. I got to see. I would guess that there is a ton of cards in here. Yeah, that big runs without lands. That would be my guess, because we drew a ton of lands into this deck. Anyway, guys, I hope everyone enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like, do the subscribe, do the YouTube stuff, please. It really helps out, and I would really appreciate it. If you didn't like the video, let me know in the comments. I like to interact with any sort of comments. Anyway, guys, this was Clawed Out Games, and I hope everyone has a great weekend. Peace.